How's it going, YouTube? What's up? We're doing what's called Guilty or Not Guilty. It's a it's a new game show where new part of my channel where I get two people to look at Yu-Gi-Oh cards and tell if they're banned or not banned. And here we got, you know him, you've seen him before. And then we got here John, a new friend.
Heyo.
Nice. So let's do a little quick intro of our familiarity with Yu-Gi-Oh. Why don't you start, Wes? What's your familiarity with Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole?
You know, I watched anime as a kid.
That's what I did.
I play a fair amount of Duel Links. Every now and then I look at what's meta here and there. I don't look in it too deep. I have some interest, but you know, I'm not a professional player or anything.
That's perfect. And John, how about you?
My knowledge extends to ℏ𝐼𝐺 is best boy.
See, so we did, yeah. And that's just fine. That's fine. And you know what? For the people at home and for you, we're gonna do just a basic explanation of what the TCG is. This is what we're doing. TCG, not OCG. So let's do that. Here you go. There you go, guys. Here's how John's intro to Yu-Gi-Oh, the TCG is. For Yu-Gi-Oh, you have 16 zones.
Okay.
And I'll try and explain how. I'll try and do it as fast as I can. So let's see.
Kind of like a Magic the Gathering right now, almost. Not quite. A little bit more true.
Yeah, like this zone right here, that's usually for your deck.
Okay.
Yeah, so your deck right
Is there one right here that I'm not seeing?
Yeah,
Okay, just making
So this is your deck. This is where you put 40 to 60 cards maximum.
Why is it not in the corner?
Why is it not? Well, for this one, this one has extended, so.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just trying to do
this
it.
one kind of cuts off the side of the
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So yeah, this is where you put your deck. This is where the 60 cards go, 60 maximum. Yep. This right here is the graveyard. Okay. This is where pretty much, in most cases, I'm gonna say in most, just so you guys at home and he knows, I'm gonna say in most cases a lot. When I say in most cases, that means there are exceptions to the rule, so we're all clear here. So in most cases, so this is where most of your cards are going to go when they're used up or destroyed.
Yeah, same concept as the other trading card games. You have to have a discard pile.
Right, and then above that right here, there's what's called a Spanish zone. And in most
that's
cases,
like you can't bring it back in the game.
Yeah, most cases.
Yep.
There are exceptions.
That would be exiled.
At first, but over time.
Yeah. So, anyways, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are where your monsters go. So,
like active monsters.
Yeah, these are where they're like.
5 monsters.
Yeah. You want to explain or you want me to? So you got 5 monster zones. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you start out with 5 cards. You start out with 5 cards. Both players start out with 5 cards. And for your old Yu-Gi enthusiasts, we don't do the draw for turn anymore. They figured out that was too broken. So you start with 5 cards. Turn 1 or 0. You start with 5 cards, and you have 6 phases. Draw phase, when you draw cards. Standby phase, which in most cases does nothing. Unless the card says something. Battle phase, that's where the monsters are, that's where they shine. Because each player has 8,000 life points or health for you video game kids. That's basically the resource that
Standard
makes you...
TCG rules.
Yeah,
you have
keeps you
life,
alive, right.
you take direct damage, or your monsters take damage for you.
Correct. And then these other 5 zones right here are where the spells and traps go.
So you can only have up to 5 spells or traps.
Yeah, up to 5 of both. Spells, traps, monsters.
That's interesting, because some trading card games, like, if you've got those stuff to play it, you can play it.
Yeah, but that's not... Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And during main phase 1 or 2, you have what's called a normal summon and a special summon. A normal summon is like when you have a monster that's like this, one that has like 4 stars right here. Anything 4, yeah, that's training. Anything with 4 stars or lower, you can just set it right there. Set it right on the field, but you can only do it once a turn, once during your main phases.
That's a
Rule. There are exceptions, like, for example, like special summoning. Well, what's that? That's where you have the ability to summon a monster for free, and you have for free after you fill some conditions.
Oh, so you have to meet a requirement.
Yes. Like, for example, I'll show you.
Like maybe sacrifice a creature and summon a different creature?
No, that's normal summoning. We'll get to that in a minute. So, like, for example, for special summoning, you get this card, it becomes a cyber dragon. And then if you get this spell, which says you can summon up to two cards of the same name, so you can special summon 2 more cyber, so 2 monsters from your deck. You can do that, and then at the same time, at the same turn, you can like pitch this card away, pitch that card away, and special summon that. Special summon that.
Oh my god, that's so much more complicated.
Yeah, so, well, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Special Summon, you can do it an infinite number of times. Both players can do it an infinite number of times. As long as you can do it, unless the card restricts you, unless there's a card that restricts you in any way, shape, or form, you can do it infinite amount of times. But the normal summon you can only do once. And John pointed out something else. What is normal summoning? Normal summon is like when you can summon a monster for free, like just at anything from 4 or lower, or something like this. No, or actually, yeah, something like this card. This card doesn't let you normal summon it, but if you were to normal tribute summon, this thing has 5 stars. Anything 5 or 6, you have to get rid of 1 monster. In most cases.
So if you put out
And
a
then if
powerful
you
card, you gotta get rid of a lower card?
Yeah, but you can only do it, but like I said, normal summon you can only do it once. So you have to get this has to survive a turn, and then you can do that. And then if you have anything 7 or higher, like this card, you need 2 monsters to bring that out. If you were gonna normal summon it. So that's how the battle
trading in stars at the top for higher monsters.
Yeah.
In order to summon a 7, you have to get rid of 7 stars?
No, yeah, in order to summon the 7, like I said, you just have to get rid of 2 monsters.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like 2
yeah, the stars don't really
Okay.
matter. It's just the monster itself.
That makes a little more sense.
Okay, and that's the battle. And the battle phase basically is where the most magic happens. It's pretty much where monsters, if your opponent has a monster card on the field, you have to attack the monster first. Like so. Your monster has to attack it first. But if they don't have it, then you can do direct damage.
And then you gotta watch out, I assume, for traps.
Yeah. That's what
that
traps
I'm familiar with.
Traps are mostly made, or in most cases for defense. In most cases for defense, for your monsters or for yourself. And spells are used offensively against your opponent. Basically, to disrupt what they're doing. Yes. Okay. And like I said, the 2 main win conditions are you try and drop your opponent to 0, or you stall the game out long enough so you can make it so they have no more cards in their deck to draw.
Wait, you can win if they run out of cards first?
If it's their turn, and they have no cards, that you win.
That's a weird win condition.
It's not the like what I said. It's not the most used condition, but it is a condition. One of the 2.
If you know you're gonna lose, just stall it.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's not the most common way to do it, but except for nowadays. Anyway, so then there's a main phase 2. If you skip your main phase 1, you can just set up your board. The main phases are mainly for just setting up your board presence. And then there's an end phase where in some cases, I'd say in some cases instead of most cases, in some cases nothing happens. You're just declaring the end of the turn. That's it. And for one more last thing, you got another zone right here. You got another zone right here that's called the extra monsters, extra decks, which is, these are all like big monster, There's basically monsters you have access to always. You just have to put a condition to them. You can summon them out, just they have to fill you. And then those two zones right here, those are for your extra deck monsters, some of them. But these are required for link monsters. We'll get into what link monsters are later in this video. And that's a short, somewhat short version of how you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Back to the video, guys.
Yu-Gi-Oh's all about not letting your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right, exactly.
Oh my god, I thought Magic the Gathering was complicated.
So you just saw the very basic and somewhat, and I saw it was a little bit description of what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. We taught John that. Now we're going to go into the main event, where I got two people who don't play the TCG really much, and they got 10 printings of cards, and they're going to tell me, look, they're going to read their bio or description, and they're going to tell me whether they're guilty or not guilty of Yu-Gi-Oh! Crimes and whether they're banned or not. They're going to write down on the paper right here whether they're guilty or not guilty.
Are these like the same? Do we have the same ones?
Yeah, they're in the same order, same cards, everything.
What commits a Yu-Gi-Oh! Crime?
I don't think
They're banned.
You can't tell us.
Basically, yeah.
We have to guess.
Basically, what the crimes are is if it's too good and it's banned. Basically, that's this whole game.
That's the most you can tell us.
Yeah.
If you think it's
Well,
too good.
however, John, if you have some questions like what does this mean, or what does that do, we will try. I'll try and answer without giving too much away, because I know you.
I think I can use my Magic the Gathering knowledge to kind of
like the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, it might be. You never know. All right, let's start, boys. Flip them over.
Which way to side?
This way, yeah. Well, either way.
Oh man, that is fun.
So yeah, you guys don't have to show the camera. The first card is the sorry about the camera quality. I'm sorry about the quality in advance.
This looks like a meme.
So the first card they're doing is I'll put it on screen. Forceful Sentry. Is this? I'll give you time to read it, and then you guys get to. When you're ready, when you're done reading, you get to write down away from each other, and you get to say whether this card is innocent or guilty.
Right now or at one time?
Whatever you're
a
ready.
pen. A pen's falling.
It's a cat pen. Yeah, don't share your answers. When you're both ready, put down your pencils. All right. And now hand it out to you, not facing, and we'll go. And just like that. And when I count to 3, you'll both do it, and we'll get some answers why. 1, 2, 3.
I say guilty of war crimes.
Guilty. They both say guilty. Now, why do you say guilty, John? Let's get your
honestly, so you get to not only look at the whole hand, which lets you predict future turns. You select a card, which can be their best card, and return to the deck, which would be fine if it was just select a card without looking. Mm. But then you shuffle the deck as well, which
it gets put back and then
the entire deck over.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's just it's mostly looking at the whole hand that screws it over.
So you
war crimes.
How about you, Wes?
It's definitely guilty. Basically.
What's your thought process?
I don't remember a ban list saying this, but because I probably don't pay enough attention.
Right.
But it's basically what he said.
Okay.
Lets you look at the hand, which is good in itself, then shuffle it back, which is the best kind of thing you can do.
Right.
With opponent's card.
Okay. Now, as judge, I will have to say that this verdict is 100% correct. You guys are both correct. This card was broken, and it's the one actual legitimate 1-for-1. It's a 1-for-1. The player uses the card, and then the other player gets rid of the card.
I don't think it would be banned if it was like select a card at random from your opponent's hand and then the rest of it. I think that would be allowed. Yeah. But knowing all of what your opponent's holding except for the next card that they'll draw, nah.
It's funny you say that because there is actually a different card with this effect on it, but it has crazy restrictions. So
come on.
All right, so
I say we keep the ones that we're right on unless we both get it.
No, I'm going to take those away because I'm going to be doing points and we're going to see who's got more.
You gotta put them over here and there.
Yeah, I'll put them right here.
Can't put them together.
All right, now. That's good for you, John and Wes. You both got that right. Now on to card number 2.
So you have a disadvantage here. Oh, that's actually
Now, the
pretty
card they're
good.
looking at right now is CED, otherwise known as Chaos the Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End.
What a fair competition.
So now, you guys, you can read the card. I know there's a paragraph. I hope that you can actually read it. One thing about the Forceful Sentry that's kind of good info. That card was limited for like 3 years until they didn't even ban it when the Force brand list was out. They did a year after that. So that's nuts. That card was around for a very long time.
Wow, this card is super unfair, but I'm not sure it's banned.
Well, that's the whole point of the game.
Oh,
That's the whole
wow,
point of
it's
this game. You guys gotta figure it out. You have to read it and just
Okay,
do it
you
and
know
then put
what?
it face down. Face down,
I'm
just like.
wrong, just.
All right, you're gonna do it. All right. Wes, it sounds like Wes has already got his thing in mind.
I'm good.
All right, now on the count of 3, you'll say whether if it's guilty or innocent. 1, 2, 3, show.
It's the
That's
devil.
pretty guilty.
You say it's guilty.
Yeah,
What
it's
you
guilty
the devil.
of
so
general
does that mean guilty or innocent?
Guilty, very, very, very guilty.
Okay, you guys both are saying it's guilty.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so it can't be. It's banned. It can't be played whatsoever. That's what you're saying.
I'm pretty sure.
Now, Judge, I will have to say that verdict is 100% wrong.
Really?
This thing is legal.
Ew.
This thing is 100% legal.
That's
Now,
right.
I will give. Now, here's some history for you, John. The card that Wes was thinking was the uneroded version of this card.
Oh, yeah, that's what I get for not reading it.
Yeah, there you go. He's a true Yu-Gi-Oh player, folks. He doesn't read cards. So, a long time ago, this was back in Invasion of Chaos. This thing was released in Invasion of Chaos in 2004. From 2004 to 2008, basically when we were in high school, this thing was running around crazy. This thing was
heard of it.
Yeah, it was so. But this one in particular is not that. But that one that we're thinking of is the uneroded one, which. If pretty much has what an errata is basically Konami just changes the card either to fix the
Still an unfair card.
the word. Yeah, well, let me get to that. It fixes the card text or it makes it less stronger, which is the one you guys are currently looking at right now. This is the weakest version of this card. And if you read the last text, it says once you destroy and burn everything, you can't activate any more card effects or monster effects. So this card was a problem of a 3-card combo. You would basically have this card out, and then you would have Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest, which are basically generic-ass searchers for anything. And what you would do is you would have those both on field, blow up the whole field, and then your searchers would search for another card called ℓ𝐻𝑗, which basically is a card that if you summon it, so you can basically use this on your turn, summon that card, and if you go to the battle phase, it locks your opponent out of drawing. So
The
they can't.
hamster on my wheel
Yeah.
just died.
Yeah, those 2 cards were the main problem. I mean, this card was, like Wes says, the devil, but to be honest, I don't think this is, this card wasn't really the problem. It was Wick and Sangan that was the problem, and Yada.
I don't know, you can do a lot of damage if there's a lot of cards on the field.
Yeah, but this thing
Regard.
burns for every card you and your opponent has, so
Yeah.
it dumps it all out and burns your opponent for
Do
you.
you think
It's
people
crazy.
would use the uneroded version?
They can't.
If they could?
They can't.
If they could?
If they could. If they could. Do you think they could? Yeah, I think they
If
would.
it was-
But this card is very unbanned now. They unbanned it, they eroded it, they made it super weak, which is what Konami does. They make it super weak, so yeah, but
No, the question is,
and
if it
here's
was uneroded and
Yeah.
it was unbanned, would
Okay.
people use it in today's meta?
if that was uneroded and banned, uneroded and not banned, then yeah, they would.
Yeah.
And to be funny for you, here's
Crazy
some history for you, John. This is the first card to be ever banned. This card made the ban list happen. Before,
Really?
while this card was around, there was no such thing as a ban list. No cards were ever banned.
Monkey.
No cards were ever
Made a
banned.
monkey.
He made a monkey. And there were no cards banned. And then Konami saw this card and they're like, we're going to make a list that just bans the hell out of this card. This card and several other cards. So this is the card that made the ban list happen. So that's unfortunate. That's 0 from 2. You guys are so far tied. You guys are so far tied.
We got 1-1.
Yeah, but that one you got 0.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna learn my lesson and read the
Yeah,
next
he's
time.
gonna do what Yu-Gi-Oh players don't
You have
do.
an advantage over me.
All right, so that you guys got that wrong. Now, next card. So the card they have now is called Call of the Grave. Sorry, Call of the Grave. I'm an idiot. Call of the Grave. A lot of you Yu-Gi-Oh players will know what this card is. So good, happy reading, guys.
What was it?
Right,
From
read.
crime of past?
Banned or not? Guilty or innocent? Guilty means
Oh.
banned. Innocent means not banned. Which is it? Is it guilty or not guilty of Yu-Gi-Oh! War crimes? Remember, innocent means you can play it. Doesn't mean if it's at 1 or 2, you can still play it. And guilty means you can't play it at all in any competitive aspect whatsoever.
Alright, ready?
Alright, you got gentlemen, you got as the, now do it. You guys read the
Okay.
card, you read what it does, now you guys,
Oh yeah.
so,
I sent you good fam.
what does that mean?
Innocent.
What about it? You say innocent.
You could.
Why do you think that? Why do you think it's a yes?
It's not, the effects aren't malevolent enough, in my opinion. Like, sure, you banish a card, that's kind of a dick move, but it's not. It's nothing that can get the card banned from the game. There's plenty of cards do that. Its effects are negated. I mean, it's banished anyways. So, yeah, sure, its effects are negated. And then, what are the odds you have like more than 2 of that card on the field still anyways? Like,
Okay,
you're probably not doing too much here.
How about you, Wes? Why do you think it's good? I mean, why do you think
Well,
it's playing? Or innocent? Why do you think it's innocent?
I do like
From what I can think of, like, it's a good countermeasure to people stopping your turns during your turn, and it's not like OP by itself, but it's something that can help stop your opponent sometimes, or make your own play.
Okay.
And I don't think it's powerful enough to be banned.
Well, as judge of this game, I say that verdict is 100% correct.
Yay.
It is, but here's the thing: you can only play it at 1 because this card is stupid broken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of cards that do have a lot of graveyard effects, and a lot of them change their names. And if you guys read the card, it does that for 2 turns, not just 1 turn. Their effect is negated for 2 turns.
I missed that.
So people have been wanting this card banned ever since it got limited. So this card it's still playable. So you guys got the answer right, just not the execution.
Yo, is Mr. Wizard in this picture wearing like Crocs? Because it absolutely looks
I have
like
no
he's wearing
idea.
Crocs.
I have no
No,
idea.
looks like he's wearing Crocs straight up.
So you
Or
got-
like the pumps.
This is a quick play.
Yeah, that's
spell card.
so that when a quick play is,
symbol,
it
which
means you can
use
play it.
it. Yeah, which means you can use it on your turn or set it and use it in the next turn.
Yeah, so,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
opponents.
this card's stupid broken, and people want it banned.
So it's
But-
like a trap card too.
But hey, you guys got the answer right somehow.
Yeah, 2 and 2.
2 and 2. You guys are neck
I
and
mean,
neck.
technically, but I don't think both of us thought that it was limited to
Yeah,
one.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's still played. It's still played. But
Maybe left back.
all right, next card, well, gentlemen. Next card.
I like the name. It's actually high quality, so.
Self-destruction button.
This almost doesn't look like a real card, to be honest. It doesn't. It looks
So
like.
the card they're looking at is called Self-Destruct button. They have to read it and determine whether if they're guilty, banned, or innocent not banned.
Remind me.
Okay.
How many life points does each player have to start?
8,000.
8,000.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
question.
Okay. Another question. That's
Are draws even a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't think they can happen as far as I know in Magic.
I will say.
Yes, they can
Yeah,
be a
they
draw.
can happen. They can
It
happen.
can happen.
It
Okay.
can
It's
happen.
not
I will
super
say that.
easy usually.
I will say they can happen.
Our cards work like the opponent has to activate your trap card.
Well, no,
No.
you set it and then you can play it on your
Oh, you
own.
can just.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have.
you have to set
You
it,
have to set it. Yes.
and you
correct.
can't play it the same turn you set it.
In most cases. In most
So
cases.
you're
This
relying.
one.
Okay.
This
You know
one,
what?
yes.
I reached the verdict.
Okay, you. There's a jury reached the verdict. Just
know
for you
what-
guys at home, I was originally gonna have the pricing for these guys, but I figure it's better we do this casual because it's a lot more fun.
I know what it was at one time. I don't know what it is
All
right
right,
now.
we'll put your chests in and we'll.
Are we ready?
You members of the jury plead for this card.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah.
You both go at the same time. You both go.
Oh,
you-
okay, well,
I'm
I
gonna-
have-
Guilty, Your Honor.
I said dumb but okay.
Dumb but okay. He says dumb but okay. He says guilty AF. So Wes, why do you think it's guilty AF?
You can draw and then you can win a game and then force draws.
Okay. That's
So
our
tournament play, it's probably banned because of that.
I was just about to say, I really should have chosen the other answer because I forgot tournaments are a thing.
Yes,
And
they
you
are.
can't, in a tournament, you have to have a winner. Therefore, this card would be banned in tournaments, but if we're just talking about banned overall,
This is what this whole game is banned on any competitive event.
competitive
Yeah,
crap.
yeah,
I
that's
should've
this
said
whole,
banned. I should have
that's this
said
whole
banned.
game. It doesn't matter.
Then I
Casual
should have
doesn't
said banned,
matter
but
shit.
I can't change it now.
Yeah, so
But my
you said
reasoning,
okay, but good.
my
Well,
reasoning was,
yeah, give me your reasoning.
it's stupid, but the odds of it you actually having a difference of 7,000 points or more, and then deciding, screw it, neither of us can win, the odds are pretty slim.
Well,
Some
as your judge, I will have to say those rulings are, Wes, you got it. John, no. Now let me explain why. Well, let Wes explain why, since he was about to say
There's
something.
some cards that make you pay a lot of life points, making it easier to get to that.
And that's exactly what this card was used for back in the day. This card is stupid.
Alright.
I don't say this a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh, but this is a card that deserved to be on the ban list.
It's got a nice graphic to it.
It's deserved to be on the ban list and never be unbanned. That's my my philosophy when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh is you can fix all cards. You can fix them somewhere. This one, there's no way you can fix this to make it good.
So it's the problem that if you go first, you can lose 7,000 life points, set this, and then on your opponent's draw phase, activate it.
So the reason that this is banned is because people would use this as a troll card in tournaments. They would pretty much stall the game out, burn, and then just tie like multiple times. Or what the smart people would do is win at least one game, win one game fairly, and then use this the other two games.
There's no combo.
Yeah, it was just, burn, stall. That was all this was used for. Burn, stall, or, side it in for,
There must be a deck that can
Yes, burn. I just said.
make you lose 7,000
Yes, I just
life
said burn
points at
decks. I
turn
just
one,
said
right?
burn. Not turn one, but during
No,
your
I
turn.
lost turn 2 before.
Basically, this is basically the I'm not gonna play anymore card. This is basically if you're down, you don't even have to burn yourself. You can let your opponent do the work, and then you just
Yeah.
flip this card and just say, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, I
That's
lost
why
turn
this
2
card
of the
is-
tournament
this
once,
card is-
so
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it was
This
legal.
card never should have been printed. Thank you, Konami. Next card, gentlemen.
Oh, no. Oh, it's a pretty one.
Good luck reading. I'm gonna have fun reading this, pronouncing this name, but it's named ℓ𝙀𝙀
Justiciar.
Justiciar, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That word, and that's id, not lib. That's an I. I figured that out today. That's an I, not an L.
Was that a fat joke?
No, I don't know.
LB, pounds.
Pounds, there you go. Yeah, I figured that out. All right, gentlemen, you know the drill.
What the hell is tuner? And what the hell is St. Bro?
Thomas explode.
Is this card stupid, dummy, thick, broken, or is it legal and playable? That's the name of this game.
Yeah.
Is it legal and playable, or is it guilty as hell?
Number 5B.
That's the name of this game, gentlemen. And I want your unfiltered opinions about this. And I want your unfiltered, unclogged brains. Well, it seems like John's going right in and he knows what he wants to write, unless he's writing a paragraph longer than this thing.
No, I'm scratching something out.
Oh, okay, you're scratching. Okay, you're doodling. All right. Let's figure it
You
out.
could
in your
answer
head.
it and I would have no idea what you two were talking about.
Yeah, I can. This is the whole game. This is why it's fun.
Okay.
Two people.
I got it.
Okay, you got it. Right. All right, members of the jury, do we have our votes?
Yeah, I do.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh god.
I said,
Not
innocent.
guilty.
I said innocent, but probably illegal in many countries.
This card is playable, is what you guys think. It's still playable.
From my perspective,
Yeah, give me your perspective.
it's innocent, but I feel like you might be tricking me.
Yeah, that's what
This might be run as an engine.
Here-
That's the only thing I can think of.
Here's my logic.
Okay, give me your
This
last.
says first edition,
It gets you
which
to be
means
honest.
it's probably a reprint, or it was allowed originally.
First means Yu-Gi-Oh just means it's from a first edition.
Oh, does it
Doesn't
really
mean-
mean it's the first printing of it?
Yeah. It just,
Oh crap!
yeah.
First edition
Yeah,
is like other
there's
games
another
usually means it's a
form of
reprint.
printing. There's another form of printing called unlimited, which is less valuable than usually, which is basically more or less value than first edition.
I'm gonna
And
say
most
this one's
cases.
just fine.
So okay, you're just saying, you're both saying it's.
I
fine.
thought first edition meant like this was
Yeah,
like
no.
the reprint, like it was in one deck at
First
first and now
edition
it's in
means nothing in
another,
game mechanics.
which would mean they
Zero.
didn't ban.
Oh, this gnome.
Okay, so
Oh no.
Each effect once. Yeah, it's innocent. Once per turn.
okay, as a judge, I will have to say this ruling is 100% Wrong. This card banned as hell. And I'll tell you why. She's banned because she's, well, this is why she's banned. During the time, this card was actually, this is a very recent card actually, not that long ago. This card was actually, came out in 2019. 2019. This card came out in 2019. So this card is not that old, to be honest. And it's banned because it's a very generic card you can summon out. And tuner is tuner is just another word for a way for this to summon this card. That's it. It's just another monster that allows you to summon this card. And why this card was so broken? Because in the World Legacy World Legacy archetype, they have a pretty decent amount of spells and traps that are kind of broken. They're
generic?
Yeah. Well, not generic, but here's the thing. This was run in Dragon Link decks, which are basically dragon monsters that use boss monsters, and this card was a big offender of making those combos go crazy. This was also used in dinosaur decks.
This is like a hype girl.
Yeah, this is a girl this is a one card combo. That's what this card is.
She's a hype girl.
Yeah, she
She
is.
just kind of made other cards better, but didn't do much herself.
Yeah, this card was just stupid, really stupid broken, and it could just search and this and World Legacy has a hand trap that this thing can search out, and then you can just pitch it, reborn it again. Based on you can use both of its effects. So this card can make you +2 in just one turn.
Had an idea it might have been used as an angel.
So yeah, that card's banned, and if it could be fixed, what do you think you guys could add to it? Could be a good fix. Do you think it could be unbanned, or do you think this card is just too broken and stupid?
Honestly, I couldn't read most of that. I took context clues to determine it.
You're a true TCG player then. You didn't read, and that's what.
No, I did read it.
No,
I did read it. I didn't understand it.
I know. I'm giving you props. That's what us do. Welcome to the fan, baby. That's what we all do.
Well, I mean, I used to remember. I told you, I'm a Magic the Gathering player, so I read the card.
Yeah.
I understand all the effects in that game, but this, I don't know.
And this card was banned in 2020, close to when COVID was happening. So.
Dang, it's not recent.
So this card was around the COVID era. So yikes. Or why it could be unbanned?
No, if we just did a bunch of things to it, like one of the effects, and you can only such spell or traps.
Right. Okay, that's fair. John, you think this thing could be banned or unbanned? I mean,
I didn't understand enough of the flavor text to know.
Okay, so he doesn't know. So we're gonna go with abstain. Next card, gentlemen. Read them in week.
Skill drain.
Skill drain.
That's the card they're doing. Skill drain.
This is a terrifying image.
Yeah.
Like when it's low quality like this, it's just terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, in HD, it's not that much better. That symbol right there in the middle, like right after chapter, that means continuous, so it lingers forever.
So the trap card just sits there, right?
Well, this one does because of that symbol. It means it stays there infinity until you get rid of it. Just so you know. John is already going away. He's got his answer good.
They paid a cost and then that's negated?
I don't know. What is it? You're the jury. You're the jury. Yeah, you said. And by the way, folks, Wes said this was going to be a cakewalk because he knew it. Because he has a better idea.
He's only winning by 1 point.
Actually, no, you guys are tired.
Oh, yeah.
You got your votes?
Yeah.
All right. As the members of the jury, 1, 2, 3. How do you find this card?
Guiltier than my grandma.
Guilty as your grandma. Guilty. Now, what are your opinions? Why do you think that is?
It stays there on the field, and it says the effects are negated while the monsters are phased up. Well, if the monsters are phased up continuously.
Because
That sucks.
Okay, that's John's 2 cents. What about yours?
negating all your opponent's monster cards can screw them out of their strategy. And that's not healthy for the game.
Okay.
Well,
you
but
think
you
it's
might
toxic?
win.
You think it's toxic? You think it's toxic? Okay. Well,
Toxic doesn't equal bad.
as judge, I would like to say that verdict is wrong. This card is. This, for a long while, this card was at 1 because for that reason alone. But then, like 2 years ago, they unbanned it and they completely it's at 3 now, and they ain't really doing much. Yes, it's a powerful card.
It's a little slow, isn't it?
It's a little slow, yes, but it also does. It only does field effects. It doesn't do anything with hand effects or grave effects.
Nah,
So-
it's still tied.
Yeah. Yep. So this card is you know, it was a good card. It was limited at one point, but then they unbanned it. So yeah, and it's not really doing a whole hell of a lot right now. So next card, gentlemen, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, boom.
Masterpiece.
The ℏ
Slaying King.
Slay King.
Slay King.
Oh, there's sons on the name.
I know, I hear you.
He's a Slay King. He looks like a Slay King.
You should see him in HD. It's way better.
Yes, he slays.
John's just speedrunning all this. He's got the brain. He reads it. Are you even reading the card? 'Cause that's a paragraph of text, man.
I know. Dude, I used to read Artemis Fowl books in like middle school.
Okay, well we got a fast
Those are the
reader here.
equivalent of Harry Potter.
We got a fast reader here. That's fine. Minty chocolate.
It's supposed to be mint chocolate chip, not chocolate mint chip.
Those are two combo of flavors I don't want to ever taste. Mint
You
and
never had
chocolate.
mint chocolate?
Yeah, and it tastes like crap.
Well, you're getting a lot of hate on your video for that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You've ever seen that?
Minty chocolate does not taste good. It should not be a flavor. You guys want to eat a chocolate cake toothpaste?
We should
Just one cost per turn.
Yeah, Wes is doing
It
what
can
he.
be unaffected by everything.
Say it.
But if you do it just right, it can be unaffected by everything.
That's what you're going for. Yeah, this is how Wes does
It
it.
was a tough one for me because like, it's kind of a terrible card,
You think
but
it's a terrible card?
can be a good card.
Can.
But that's only assuming
Well,
all
wait.
of the circumstances are correct.
Okay, well, we'll get your more opinion like that once Wes makes a decision. As the members of the jury, what do you plead?
Slay this king, he's guilty.
Slay the king
Oh,
is
I thought he
guilty.
was innocent.
You say innocent.
Oh.
Now give me your opinion. Why you think it's
John.
why you think it's guilty?
So, here's the thing.
You don't know? I haven't said anything yet.
I got halfway through it, and it said unaffected by the effects of cards of the same card type as the original card type of the cards tributed for its summon. And the first part said to tribute summon a card, you can tribute continuous spell and trap cards you control,
Yes.
as well as monsters. Which means you said there were 5 monster slots and 5 trap card / spell slots.
Mhm.
That is up to 10, or possibly more depending on the combination type, of things that will not affect it if you were to sacrifice all 10. Therefore,
Well, I think you can't sacrifice all 10 cards. You can only do it for this card. You can only do 2 cards. Yeah. I don't mean to put you in a
where does
different
it say
direction.
that?
It would never.
Yeah.
Where does it say that? It just says continuous.
Once
It
per
doesn't say
turn,
3
though,
cards.
he
It
would
says
play his
2.
turn.
And because remember what I said about the stars? Look how many. Look how many it says. Anything 7 or anything 7 or more, you have to sacrifice 2 things.
It doesn't say anything about.
It's not. It's what I showed you. Remember the
Oh,
stars?
yes,
Remember
I've heard
those
of
things?
Well, it's still unfair.
And this thing, yeah,
I don't
it
think
can.
you
They're
would
still making something
Tribute more than 2 or 3
immune to
cards.
something is pretty unfair. Kind of like the circle protection in
That
Magic,
looks
which
good at
feels
one
like-
time, but
Yeah, but I'm sure
Other
people found a
cards
way to
still-
exploit this.
Okay, so I think we've come with our decision, and I will say, as the judge, I will say these verdicts are. John got it. It's guilty. It's guilty. It's sin.
I figured someone found a way to
Guilty is
exploit
sin.
it.
Now let me explain why.
that's a
real quick.
broken combo.
But it's okay. So Dracos, true Dracos and true Kings are a very, very, very strong rogue deck. These cards, what they do is they tribute something. Remember when I said normal summon you can only do it once?
Uh-huh.
This archetype can do it more than once. This whole thing is like tribute summon, normal summon, normal summon, normal summon, and these things get stupid effects based on that. Some can like this whole deck, this whole archetype can make you draw cards, can make you recycle cards, can make like there are spells and traps that can make you draw, recycle. It's broken. So and then this card's broken because, like Wes was saying,
So it's the archetype's fault and not just alone this card.
This card too. This card's a boss monster. So this card, well, because this is the one that's banned, not the other types. All the other ones are legal. This one's the one that's banned. It's banned because it's a big, basically it, for the most part, monsters and spells are mostly what's going to get used to get rid of this thing. So you can just tribute a spell and a monster, and it'll be hard to get rid of. And if there is a monster on
But you
field,
can just beat over it.
yes, you can. And that's why I think this can come back to 1. I think it can come back to 1. Anything more than that, it's annoying to deal with. I think this card, I think Masterpiece can come back to 1.
But if this card existed without the archetype, it would be fine, right?
Isn't that with every card?
Yeah, I didn't know the archetype.
Well, I thought you would know. Joel Wicks has these cards.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, they do.
Not this one.
Not this one, no, but True Dracos they do, and True Kings, yes they do.
No, that would explain it.
Yeah, and you know how every event people are saying I don't like True Kings and True Dracos because and these cards pair well with, you remember the last card, Scale Drain? These cards pair well with that card. Because you can just slam these down, they're just big beefy monsters. Anyways, that's enough of my ranting. Time for the next card, gentlemen. You'll like this one, John. Okay, the card they're looking at is ℚ𝔨 It'll be on.
Why are you looking at ℚ𝔨? Sorry.
ℚ𝔨.
Why does it look like ℚ𝔨?
Because, well, that's funny you should mention it. Well, this is what's called a link monster. Remember way
Because
back when I
waifu
told
cards sell.
Yes. And the archetype it's for, it's basically it's a Cybers. It's basically, this is all video game, archetype. It's like all video game characters. So that might be Diva. And this is what we call a link monster. This is from the extra deck. Remember when I told you that way back? These things are required to go into special little zones. They have to go there first in order for you to summon them. You can't summon them in the other 5 slots first. You can do it if you special summon it from the grave, you can, but first time you got to put it in the little 2 zones. Oh, you guys are actually reading this card. Holy crap.
I've read it like 4 times.
You read it 4 times. How many times have you read, Wes?
I think I'm on number 3.
Really? Wow, you guys are really reading it. See, Yu-Gi-Oh players can read, people.
I saw this somewhere, but I think it was good.
Is this called, you said this is called a link monster? Right?
Yeah, this is called a link monster. It's blue and it has hexagon. You can't see it on the photo because
You have 2 monsters, send them to the graveyard, and you got a link monster if it meets the requirements.
And you just have 2 more cards after this.
What? If my reasoning isn't actually correct, I'd be very surprised.
Well, that's a part of the game. This is fun, good shit. We're just trying to, 2 people that don't really know the game, for TCG at least, don't know the game.
Also, why does Yu-Gi-Oh keep making them look like underage girls? Yu-Gi-Oh!
Konami.
Oh yeah, Konami.
Because those cards sell so better.
Yeah. Waifus and, and they're anime. So you know how anime is.
Also, what's Cybers?
I just told you.
Cybers.
Well, that's their own archetype, but basically what it is, it's basically video game characters like Tron.
It's just a monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the tape it is.
Okay, so that's not a word.
Yeah. And basically they're all just video game characters. That's what they all
I
are.
thought it was a word, I was like, it's not a word.
That's basically where some of them are. Some of them are not. Some of them are just big, giant.
I'm surprised you didn't throw in a tune anything.
I said it was from all. Hey, I gave you Century, and I gave you a few ones that were way back in the day. I never said I was doing tunes. You thought that.
Alright, let's go.
Alright,
Ready?
guys. Members of the jury, what do you plead?
Guilty.
I think
Guilty.
guilty of time loops.
Wait, so you said guilty too?
Guilty of time loops.
So does that mean banned? What does that mean?
Okay. So
is it banned or is it not?
Banned.
You say banned. Okay. We both say banned.
It says link summon 1 link monster using materials you control, including the card. So that I assume that means you have to sacrifice this card essentially in order to pull out a link monster.
Correct.
Well, the broken part I can find, what if you pull another one of these as a link monster, and therefore afterwards it says a link monster that uses this card as material cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Therefore, the broken part comes into play.
That's why you think it's broken. You think the protection effect is broken.
Yeah, because
Hold on, Wes. So that's it. That's all you guys say. Just okay. Now, Wes, your turn. Your turn. You're saying it's guilty. You're saying
I saw this card somewhere around the limited or banned list. I just can't remember where.
That's unfair.
That's all. You're just going off that logic. You think you saw it somewhere?
I don't know why this would be broken, but I don't remember. I think this deck was good at one point. So
it also lets you do something on your opponent's turn, and that's kind of unfair.
Yep, that's right. But okay, as judge, I will have to declare this verdict wrong. You both are wrong.
Don't wait, so I don't care.
This card
Was
is
it ever
legal.
guilty?
I don't think it's ever been limited or banned. I don't think so.
Damn.
It's a good card, and you guys spotted that. It's a good card. It is a good card, but no, it's
You
legal.
could just
now.
like loop it forever if you had.
And it's yeah, you can't really loop it that much. You can only
Oh no.
loop it that much. So yeah, next card, gentlemen. Let's go.
Frog.
Yeah, sorry about the
This is
is
great quality.
Yeah.
Love it.
yeah this is what's called an XE, John. Basically, this is where you stack 2 monsters or summon this monster.
Why is it blue then?
It's the badge printing quality. Yeah, this card's supposed to be black, dark black, brown, blue, but like black cards in Magic.
It's totally awesome.
Totally awesome, dude. Turtle power. Even though this isn't a turtle. You guys are lucky you're reading the cards while it's blown up and big, because just imagine, John, you have to read this at a very small scale.
I'm trying to comprehend it. Like,
Yeah.
there's a
well,
lot of if you do this, but if you do this, but if you do this, you also get to do the same thing.
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh.
What?
Welcome to modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
This is an older card too, because the stars are over here.
Actually, those are called ranks. Those are not levels. Those are ranks. Those are different
Those
stars.
ranks.
Yeah.
Or
Ranks. Yeah.
So it's an older card, right?
Xyz.
It's
Monsters make levels, Xyz make rings.
yeah.
Oh,
Basically, you stack 2 monsters on, and then you summon this bad boy on
It's
top
so
of it.
cute though.
I know it is.
It's
It's
got
good
an orange
artwork.
on top.
Good
of it.
artwork, I will say.
What a baby he is.
Totally awesome. Gotta love that.
Totally awesome. God, I didn't think Yu-Gi-Oh made puns like that.
The OCG didn't. This has a different name in the OCG, but here they just changed it to totally awesome.
what was in the OCG?
I don't know. It had something to do with the orange. I don't really remember what the name
That's
was.
weird.
That's why the orange is there. It was named after that. Because otherwise, it's just why the hell is there 2 frogs on top of an orange, on the bottom of an orange? That's why it was. I think it's,
Okay.
Probably thought of a Japanese word.
John's ready.
I think I was talking so much shit.
yeah. I love that you were talking so much. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's got to tie 2 more or win another point and go back.
All right. Members of the jury, well, how do you plead? Let this
I want to
start.
hear his first.
You both have to do it.
Oh,
You forgot how the game works.
Frog bad, don't lick.
So, what does that mean in English terms?
Frog bad.
Okay,
Don't-
banned?
banned.
Is this thing
I
banned?
mean,
You can't
banned
play
is
it. You
banned,
can't play
yeah.
it. Okay, and Wes said the same. Okay,
It does too
Wes,
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
much
that was
good
exactly.
value from one card.
That's
Had
it.
to loop
That was it. That was it for me.
Content.
It does too much.
You guys say it does too much and you can loop it and nothing else? That's it. Just
And it looks like it's on drugs.
It's the Hypnotoad.
It is it's a hypnotoad with cutie.
Probably a good combination with a frog deck, but that's probably not so good.
Why would you have a frog deck?
Because that's what, because Konami like to make archetypes with different monsters.
I'm just saying, a
Okay,
whole frog
so-
deck's silly.
As a judge, I will have to say, your ruling of this plea is wrong. This card is legal.
Yeah.
This card's legal.
That was once guilty.
You're right. Yeah, way back in the day, this card was the boss. Yeah, Dadly did live.
Last one. You
And
can
but
tie it up here.
let me explain a little bit more. This thing was broken back in the day, and it's kind of broken now too.
Oh.
But it's 100% legal. 100% legal. Not limited. You can put 3 of this in your deck, but you would want to do 1 for the same reason you guys said. You can loop it around. You can you can loop it around. So you guys were in the right
You think of
track.
that?
Last card, people. Last card.
Christian, how?
I'll say what the name of this card is. It's called
Correct.
named Christian Fiber, or some people like to call it needle fiber in the OCG. That's why it's needle
It's
fiber.
like a link to the meme.
It's called
Kill a Gundam, my guy.
or some people.
Doesn't Konami make Gundam
They
now?
do. They do.
That's a
They,
Gundam, my guy.
they do. They make cards that are Gundams and they make cards that are Power Rangers.
No, I'm
too.
saying, but Konami owns Gundam.
Oh, I
Like
have
the
no, I have
show.
no idea.
I think they do.
No idea.
Or at least they own the toy line, I think.
So yeah, this thing has a couple
That's a
names.
Gundam.
Crystron Husky Crybax, if you're doing the full name. TCGs call this card HALQ, HALQ, and then OCG players call this Needle Fiber. Crystron Needle Fiber, because that's its actual name, but you know us Americans, we like to screw those names up. Oh, Wes is getting into it
Okay.
for once. Wes is doing it. Here we go, people.
Okay.
Okay. Members of the jury, how do you plead this card? Guilt or innocence?
𝘁𝑃𝘁𝗃.
Okay, so John's saying guilty. Wes is saying guilty. Proceed to explain your explanation.
Quick effect is too generic and easy to do.
That's how you're answering, John.
No, it's not.
That's how you're answering, John.
My answer was, honestly, it says you can do the effect once per turn,
Okay.
and it says you can summon a tuner
Yeah,
from the
something that
extra
gets
deck.
you
And I
advantage
don't
as
remember
well.
what you said about the extra deck, but I think I remember you saying something about it was like more powerful.
More powerful. Yes, the
So, like,
extra
why-
deck is very powerful.
So it's letting you summon a card from your more powerful deck, if I remember you explaining it correctly, rather than your regular deck, which is kind of unfair.
Okay, so you guys are saying this card's banned because of its just being able to summon another card from extra deck. That's
Yeah.
what we're going with here?
It's tuner effect helps too.
I don't know what that means.
It makes it
Yeah.
line.
Okay. Wait, what did you just say?
Its first effect helps too.
Okay.
Like it gives you value your turn, and if this thing sticks around, it gives you value on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, right? These are two things.
Okay.
Two
Well,
times.
as judge, I will have to say this plea is 100% correct. You
I
guys
mean-
got it correct. Now this card, you know, okay, so this card, this card is very, is the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of a staple extender. This thing, you see this where it says like two monsters and one tuner? This is basically generic as hell. You can summon this with any two, plus this, plus a tuner, which is...
Could one of said monsters be a tuner?
Yes.
So you would only have to get rid of 2 instead of 3?
Yes, and this card also, you guys said how it like summons from extra deck. That's not the broken effect card.
Oh.
This thing's broken because it can summon tuners from your main deck to the field. And in Yu-Gi-Oh, some tuners have a lot of good effects. They have a lot of good effects. And
So because the card it summons might be too good, that's why it was banned? That's nice.
yeah, and well, no, it's good too. No, it's good too. It can summon another card on board, and then you can summon another extra deck monster on top of this, and then you can summon a tuner back from grave. This thing does a lot of combos for a lot of cards. This thing for for the last 2 years, all rogue decks were playing this card because it's just that good, and some meta decks were also using this card. This card, let me say how old this card is. This card was around, well, it was not that old, but it's only been around for 2 years. But it's,
The graphics are pretty new.
yeah, like 6 months ago, it was limited, and then they decided to ban it because this thing's just too generic. It summons out cards from the main deck. It lets you link and synchro climb. It lets you do a lot of stuff. And I think, even though I say how busted this card is, I think it can come back to 1. I think it is. Because even though a lot of decks were using it, it wasn't the most oppressive card on board. People knew, even back when this was legal, people knew how to out it, knew how to stop it, knew what to do with it. But yeah, I'm torn because I see why they banned it. It's like I said, prime example of a Yu-Gi-Oh good card, good staple extender.
This video is sponsored by Nostalgia.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, I thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and make that algorithm happen, people. Share this to your friends. Thank you, Wes, for coming as always. John, thank you for coming and giving us your info, giving us your side of things.
You almost said expertise.
Yeah, expertise. Yeah, we're all experts here. We're all experts here. All right, and yeah, thank you, everybody. See ya.